Long before ketchup was even a thing, the Roman Empire was absolutely obsessed with a completely different condiment. It was salty, it was savory, and it was so darn valuable, they called it liquid gold. And get this, it was made from something you would never, ever expect. Today, we're diving deep and uncovering the secrets of this amazing, forgotten flavor bomb, garum.
Okay, just stick with me here, because that question, that's really our starting point. It sounds bizarre, I know, but believe it or not, this ancient sauce is making a huge comeback. And the secret behind its incredible flavor, well, it's pure culinary science. So here's what we're gonna cover. First, we'll figure out what this stuff actually is. Then we'll get into the fascinating science that keeps a jar of fish from just, rotting. After that, we are going to walk through the entire epic 9-month transformation, and we'll finish up by exploring all the cool ways you can actually use this liquid gold in your own kitchen. All right, first things first, what was this stuff? What was the secret weapon hiding in every Roman kitchen? So garum is basically the granddaddy of the fish sauce you probably have in your pantry right now. It's this beautiful, clear, amber-colored liquid that you get from fermenting fish and salt. And let me tell you, it is an absolute powerhouse of that savory, mouth-watering flavor we all know and love as umami. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room here. We're talking about fish, guts included, left in a jar for months on end. How in the world is this a delicacy and not like a biohazard? Well, the answer is all about science and control. See, this isn't just decay. It is a very specific, very controlled transformation. And it all comes down to some really cool science. The fancy science name for what's happening here is enzymatic hydrolysis. But the magic ingredient? It's already inside the fish. The enzymes that are naturally in the fish's guts are the engine that drives this entire process. I mean, the fish literally digests itself. How wild is that? So here's the play-by-play. First, those enzymes from the guts go to work, attacking the proteins in the fish meat. Next, they start chopping up these long, complex protein chains into their little building blocks, amino acids. And then, the grand finale, one of those amino acids is glutamate, and that's the molecule that our taste buds recognize as that deep, savory, incredible umami flavor. So, if the enzymes are doing all this cool work, what's stopping all the bad bacteria from crashing the party and spoiling everything? The answer is super simple, but it is absolutely critical: salt. You gotta think of salt as the bouncer, the bodyguard for this entire operation. And the ratio here has to be just right. We're talking a magic number of between 20 to 25% salt by weight. If you use any less, you're risking spoilage from really nasty bacteria like botulism. No thank you. But if you use any more, you'll actually stop those good enzymes from being able to do their job. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the single most important rule of this whole thing. You cannot eyeball this. You absolutely have to weigh your fish, and you have to weigh your salt. Precision isn't just for flavor, it's for safety. Okay, so you've got the science down, you've got your scale out, you're ready to weigh that salt. So how do you actually make the stuff? Well, the shopping list is surprisingly simple. All you need are some small, oily fish, think sardines or anchovies, and this is key, you must include the heads and guts. Remember, that's where all the magic enzymes are hiding. Then you just need some non-iodized sea salt, a big glass jar, a weight to keep everything submerged, and some cheesecloth to cover the top. That's it. And the process itself? Just as straightforward. You chop up the fish, you weigh it, and then you calculate and weigh out your 20% salt. Then comes the fun part. You massage that salt into every nook and cranny. You pack it all tightly into a jar, cover it up, and stick it in a warm spot. That heat helps the enzymes work faster. Give it a stir once a week for the first month, and then you wait. And trust me, it's a real journey. After about 3 months, you're gonna have what looks like a brown, kind of mushy paste. Not super appealing, I'll admit, but give it another 3 to 6 months and something incredible happens. All the solids sink to the bottom, and this beautiful, clear, amber liquid rises to the top. And that is your garum. Now, once you carefully strain that precious liquid off, you're actually left with 2 totally different products. The prized liquid, that's the garum, but the solid paste that's left at the bottom, that's called alec, and it is also completely edible. You can think of it like an ancient Roman version of anchovy paste. Nothing goes to waste. Now look, if waiting around for 9 months really isn't your style, I get it. And there is a modern shortcut. A lot of chefs today use koji.
Yep, the same mold that's used to make things like soy sauce and miso. It's just packed with enzymes, and it can speed this whole process up, giving you a finished garum in just 4 to 6 weeks. So, you did it. After all that patient waiting, or maybe not so patient waiting, you have a bottle of your very own homemade liquid gold. The big question is, what do you do with it now?
Honestly, the best way to think about garum is as a universal flavor enhancer. Seriously, don't box it into one type of food. Brush it on a steak before you throw it on the grill for this incredible savory depth. Add a tiny splash to a tomato sauce, and it gives you the same kind of richness you'd get from Parmesan cheese. You can even use it instead of salt to make a salad dressing that will blow your mind.
When you take a step back and think about it, making garum is really a kind of alchemy. It's amazing. You're taking these perishable ingredients, often scraps that might just get thrown away, and through a little bit of science and a whole lot of patience, you're transforming them into a powerful, shelf-stable seasoning that can last for years. And that really leaves us with one final thought. The whole principle behind garum is transformation. It's about turning something that's overlooked into something invaluable. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What waste in your own kitchen is just sitting there, waiting to become treasure?